Good morning. Let's go through what we talked about last week on building positive relationships. I had a chance to go through your comments and your responses to one another, and what I decided to do was write down your top responses and then put a little chicken scratch by the ones that seem to be coming up more and more. And of these, the ones that you decided were the most important were one, conflict between fellow workers, two, supporting coworkers, and three, relating to managers. So I kind of circled those, and I'm going to summarize here some of my comments and see if we can't maybe come up with some prescriptions for success. Now, in this slide, you see the group formation or team formation steps. And a lot of people don't like to work in groups, but we know that when you get out into the workplace, better things get accomplished in groups. And if you look at the movies, Hollywood, or if you look at Nintendo or Apple, most of these products are designed in teams and they're not always getting along. Everybody doesn't always get along. Just think about, say, Will Smith and Chris Rock. And so conflict is inevitable in team formation, but let's take a look and see how we might overcome some of this. Now, you notice here forming, storming, norming, performing, and all groups adjourn at some point. So once the movie is released, then the actors are freed from their contracts and they end up going on to other projects where sometimes they meet members of a team they've worked with before, but in many cases not. But I'd like to direct your attention to the second step, which is norming, or I'm sorry, storming. So when you first get into a group, basically what this slide is showing is everybody's kind of polite and on their best behavior, but nothing gets done. And then as that deadline starts to approach and nothing is done, people start conflicting with one another. Who put you in charge? Why aren't you doing anything? Things like that. So conflict is inevitable, but how you handle conflict is basically going to be a ticket to success. You notice over here, norming, people start to make rules here that they can agree upon. Things like always be on time, don't interrupt others, don't have side conversations, and the group begins to perform at that stage. Now, this is what happens in a lot of cases. Somebody leaves, goes on to another company, and a new person enters into the team. So you might be here at performing, and when a new person comes in, they don't understand what the norms are, and storming can happen all over again. So it's good to keep your teams together. The next thing is let's take a look at self-directed work teams. And these go along horizontal and vertical lines. So vertical is you to your boss, but we can't always go to the boss. Sometimes it feels like we're being a tattletale. And sometimes we have to use horizontal communication, which is going from department to department. Um, and I've listed several departments here: human resources, sales, accounting, customer service, operation, and logistics. Um, and we need to cut across these lines in a cooperative measure. That's why most teams, what they do in a company is they'll take people from different departments and have them work on a plan together, whether it's the launch of a product or the company picnic or the annual Christmas party. Uh, they put people together in teams from different departments so that they can horizontally